What the f?
$451, $450 twice, so $450. 05 Cadillac STS, 129 on the mile, low mile. Yes, sir, it's green, 300, 3 and a quarter in the back. 301, 305. You brought it.
She running good at least? 102. Runs fine. Not overheating? No. It's a drifting. No, I'm interested. So am I.
I forgot this is the one that the e-brake got stuck when it got dropped off.
Oh, it got stuck then? Rev it up for me.
Jump to 4.9. Jump to 4.9. Right motor.
Conflict of interest. You watch these guys. These guys right here will probably pay $4. I'll put them up.
No, I can't fucking bid against you, asshole.
Thank you very much.
Alright, so you guys just saw me win this Cadillac at auction for a $300 winning bid. After all fees, I own this car for $450. It has 102,000 miles, and the key thing is, for this body Seville, they're not as commonly found with the 4.9 liter, the old school reliable 4.9. One thing that does concern me is it's sat since 2013. The rear brake, the e-brake, you can see was locked up. Obviously, it's going to need some brake work. If that's all it needs, which so far it seems to be the case, it'll be an excellent buy. It runs very nice, has a newer battery in it, so I'm guessing whoever owned this car dropped a battery in it after it sat for a few years and realized the brakes were stuck and just said, you know what, I'm not going to deal with it, and they donated it. So let's see if it starts right up. Fires right up. I noticed that it ran very well when it came through the auction. At least it seemed to at the time. They revved it up for me. The engine was nice and quiet. Yeah, as I expected, we have no brakes at all. I figured that because there was a warning on the dash saying check brake fluid. The car obviously needs brake work, which again, I knew that when I bought it. You know, the question is it a brake line issue? How bad is it? We'll find out. I'm obviously not going to drive this thing home. So my goal is just to get this thing out into an open area so I can get a better look underneath it. I'm hoping there isn't any major undercarriage rust. As far as I could tell, there wasn't, but can only see so much as it's coming through. So let me focus on getting it out, and I will take a second look after. Here I am making an absolute scene, leaving the auction. Rear brake being stuck on. Tried to get it undone. I didn't have anything heavy enough to hit the rear brakes with and see if I get lucky. But now I'm gonna go get my truck and see if I have anything I can. Oops, the camera was way out of focus. Okay, so I took the wheel off, hoping it would just be the e-brake that's stuck. I pretty much dismantled the entire e-brake mechanism, and the cable is actually broken in the back where it used to mount. So I don't think, and it's not the actual cable itself that's snapped, but where it mounts to the vehicle. So I don't think it was engaged. The pedal for the e-brake goes right to the floor, and it seems that the issue is actually this whole caliper is just seized right here, which not much I can do. Unfortunately, I do not have my tools. I left them in the other Escalade when I dropped it off to get some work done. And coming here today, I didn't expect to buy a project, so Do not have my tools. I was just hoping to get this rotor freed up for my wrecker to make it a little bit easier to pick it up and obviously to drop it off my driveway without the thing fighting its way down. But it looks like I'm running out of time and running out of options here, so nothing I can do. I really can't get this off without any tools. No one around here is ever helpful, so that's not going to do it. The car definitely has some rust from sitting, but it's still solid. I mean, granted, there's little flakes of surface rust coming off, but nothing is broken from me pounding on it. So, I'm still not very happy about the condition. When I looked at the car at the auction, this is what I could see looking from the floor, and it looked very clean. Obviously, I couldn't see these areas that well. I didn't look at the rear suspension. I wish I had. I still think it's a good buy because besides the crud on the body's in great shape and the miles are low. Obviously, the car needs quite a bit of work. We definitely need brakes all around. I mean, these rotors are not coming back. The calipers don't look too hot. That wetness back there, by the way, is me putting some PB Blaster back there. I didn't put it on the actual brake parts, don't worry. I obviously don't want to fire. But I was just trying to see if maybe doing that and messing around. Again, my initial thought was the e-brake was stuck on. Possible that it still is, but I don't think so. Having the spring and everything off and having messed with the cable for a while doesn't seem to be the case. A lot of things in the car are actually in good shape. The structure itself is fine. The unibody of the car is very solid. It's just this kind of stuff, which is all replaceable, repairable, but obviously how much money do you invest in a 93 Seville? And this stuff might just do fine with a good sanding and painting to kind of restore its looks. And oh, that'd be a shitty, would not be a fun time though to have to sand all this. But you can see, I mean, nothing's cracking. I certainly think the car is still solid. Obviously, we have a lot of bushings that are dry rotted from the car sitting. You know, when I looked at this car, I thought it had a 2018 sticker. It's a 2013, so it sat for quite a while. Old person probably passed away is my best guess. It runs great, it doesn't overheat, the oil's clean, the interior's in great shape, the wheels are in great shape, dirty, but you know, they'll clean right up. Seats are in very nice shape. The car's in great shape with the exception of the brakes and obviously some rust underneath. Low miles, and I'm into it for $450 out the door. I think it's a worthy project to sort out. Got some cracking on the plastic back there, but the engine's in pretty good shape. Everything looks nice and clean. The serpentine belt actually doesn't look bad. I don't see any cracks on it. Not in bad shape for a vehicle that's obviously sat for quite some time. I imagine it must have sat in a carport or something, because if it had sat in the grass, I think it'd be in a lot worse shape. We definitely have a brake line issue somewhere because we have no brake fluid and no brake pressure. However, you look at the brake lines up here at least, and they're in pretty nice shape. So I'm not sure where the problem is. It could also be a failed master, but I don't think so. And this paint, the clear coat's in good shape. This car will clean right up when a buff and wax. The tires from the car sitting, they're not in the best of shape. These ones don't look too bad, but you can see there's some dry rot cracking on them. And that back tire is pretty much shot. It has heated seats. This is an odd one in a good way. In a very good way. So I'm gonna button this thing back up. There's nothing more I can do. Okay, so here's the predicament I'm in. I cannot get that rear wheel to free up. The piston's stuck, something's stuck. It looks like everything's stuck to me. I'm no brake expert by any means. I'm gonna come back here on Tuesday. That's when the auction reopens. And I'm gonna take this wheel back off. I'm gonna have my toolbox with me. And my goal is to just take this caliper off so the rear wheel spins freely. I also wanna bring a safer tire. I don't wanna dolly it home like that. Now, I've ran out of AAA tows, but I'm going to renew my AAA. It expires in like 2 days, and I plan to renew that, and it won't be reactivated until Monday if I renew it. So coming back on Tuesday when they reopen at the auction, worst case scenario, if I cannot get that rear brake to free up, at least with basic hand tools. Ooh, something just caught my eye coming into the auction. I want to come back here on Tuesday, hopefully free up that caliper, and put this thing on the dolly and take it home. If not, I'll flatbed it out of here. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, treat me as if I know nothing, because I don't do brake work. If you can help me figure out what tools I need to bring to take all this apart. I did check the e-brake cable, and you can see that it is not even connected to the body anymore, and there's no tension on the cable. That's the story with the car. Beautiful body, beautiful interior. It's a shame I'm not going to be able to take it home today and start cleaning it up, but it is what it is. Fun stuff. Okay, so that's gonna do it for today. I put the car back. I really want to dolly it home. I don't want to pay for a flatbed. Let me know what you think of the Cadillac. Remember, this is a 4.9 Seville with 100,000 miles. That's where the value is in this car. But you know me, I didn't buy that car to sell it, I bought it for my collection. Let me know what you would do about the surface rust on the rear suspension, and don't tell me to replace all of it. I'm not gonna go through the hassle, the expense, because it's all still solid. It's definitely solid, I'm more than sure of that. I was banging the crap out of it to see, a little bit out of frustration, a little bit out of just wanting to know if it was solid. And it's rock solid. Everything down there is rock solid. Just has a nasty brown color to it. So would you sand it down and paint it? Would you spray it with a certain type of rust treating material? I'm not going to just spray undercoat over it. It's going to trap the rust and the moisture in there. Maybe fluid film would prevent it from rusting any worse, but what I want to do is make the rust go away. I use a product called Crud Cutter, Must for Rust. That stuff kills the rust, returns it back to like a bare metal finish. Not sure if that would be a good idea to just put this thing up in the air and blast the undercarriage with Crud Cutter. I'm not sure. I just want to get that rust neutralized. That's my goal, to keep this car on the road for many more years to come, because the body is perfect, the unibody is perfect. It's just that rear suspension that is pretty crispy looking. So thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for the next one.